What is up, guys? So I was asked a question about what do I want to see or improvements do I want to see with the LG V70. So you guys know I'm a big fan of the LG V lineup. So let's go ahead and just get started, and be sure to chime in. What do you guys want to see V60 users, or if you're a V50 or V40, V35, whatever, and you're planning on upgrading to the V70, what are the things that you want to see? So let's talk about the release date. So the V60 came out in February, but the V50 did not come out in February. I think it came out sometime in March. I'm not sure, I can't remember, but I know it was in February. So the release date is somewhere between February and March, I'm guessing. So we don't exactly know when it's going to come, but the price. So the V60, I think when it launched, it was like at 700 or 650. I think that was with the phone itself, and then with the case. So that was another $100, which actually for a flagship phone, that was really cheap. Even with the dual screen case, it was way cheaper than the iPhones and Galaxies and stuff like that. So hopefully we can see that same price where we're still getting a fairly cheap flagship phone. So I guess design wise, I'm pretty satisfied with the V60's design here. I think it looks really good. I'm pretty sure LG might try to go for like the trendy camera module setup. If you guys don't know, all of the phones now have this square design here, and I think the V60 having this design definitely makes it look unique. It has its own sort of look to it, as you can see from the V40, V50. So hopefully it keeps this look. I think it looks really good, really clean, and I really like this color that the V60 came with. I do like it much better than these black colors, only because you can see fingerprints on them really easy, and it's not really, these aren't really black. They kind of look kind of bluish, except, well, this one really. But yeah, so design wise, yeah, so I like the design on here. It is a heavy phone, but that is what you would expect with a phone this size. 100% it would kill this phone if they took away the quad DAC. So I'm pretty sure LG is not that crazy to take away the quad DAC. I'm pretty sure they know by now that the big user base or fan base of this series really appreciates the quad DAC. So that's like a main thing, at least with the hardware, is that they keep the quad DAC 100%. So let's talk about the display. So first off, I do want to see this notch go away, and hopefully we get some type of punch hole. I'm pretty sure we're going to get a punch hole this year, and I would like to see them tighten up on the bezels on this phone too. So I'm 100% sure we're going to see a punch hole on this phone, but most definitely I want to see this notch going. I think the punch hole is going to give it a much more immersive experience. And we really thought we were going to see 90 hertz, but we did not. So I'm pretty sure we should see some type of high refresh rate with the V70, whether it's 90 hertz or 120 hertz. So we should see that with this phone. And this screen is a 6.8 inch display, and I wouldn't be surprised if LG went ahead and put a 6.9 inch screen on this phone, since it will have the punch hole. And if they tighten up the bezels, it shouldn't make the phone feel super big, even though it's a pretty big phone. So people buying this phone already know you're getting a big phone because of the dual screen capabilities. You're gonna want sort of like a big phone with this phone. Yeah, so hopefully, I'd highly doubt it, but they're probably not going to bring back the 1440p, which was a bummer when they took it away with this phone. And I think they did that because of battery life. This phone has amazing battery life, but I'm not sure. So if you guys have heard, Samsung actually is going to be downgrading the screen on the S21. So it's not going to have a 1440p display like it has always have, and that is going to have a 1080p display. So I don't know what's going on with these manufacturers downgrading the 2K display to 1080p. I'm not sure. But yeah, I just think when it comes to a flagship is really, all about these sort of specs and all the nerdy stuff that we care about. So not having the, 1080p or the 1440p on this phone, it's just kind of weird. But the screen on here still looks good. Like I've said in all my comparisons, it's really hard to be able to tell the difference, whether you're just playing video games or you're reading text. The screen does look really good, but at times I guess you can tell if you're really looking for it. You can tell the difference between a 1440p and 1080, but like I said, you have to be looking at them side by side. And I think for like your normal, average person, they're not gonna really notice that downgrade to me. But if you're a spec head, then you'll definitely notice that for sure. Now the V60 introduced the in-display fingerprint scanner, which is fine. I mean, it works, and it doesn't have, it works. It's just a little bit slower than the fingerprint scanner that I use on the 7 Pro. So hopefully I can, hold on, let me grab it for you. Let me try to get it at the same time so you guys can see like the difference here. Maybe you guys can see the speed difference. Hold on. Like did you guys see that? It's not as fast as, like, you see how the 7 Pro is like kind of instant. Now I know some of you guys are saying it's like the animation, but I feel like this should be faster to me. So hopefully they improve that. Now I feel like the high refresh rate has a lot to do with the 7 Pro's in-display fingerprint scanner being fast, because if you turn off the high refresh rate on the 7 Pro, the fingerprint scanner doesn't feel as fast. So I think this one feels faster because it has the high refresh rate, but again, I'm not sure. So definitely want to see some improvement with that fingerprint scanner for sure. Now, honestly, for the cameras, I really like the cameras on the V60. So for the V70, always, of course, improvements are always welcome, but the kind of flack that this phone got from what I was reading from other reviewers, with sort of the contrast issues with this phone, which you can fix with the manual mode. This phone has an excellent manual mode in it, which will pretty much fix anything, and it really turns into an excellent camera. But yeah, so I know like most normal people aren't going to use the manual mode, so those contrast issues, I do notice them sometimes, but honestly, like I said, if you just learn how to use the manual mode, it's not a big deal. But the phone by itself, just taking stills with the automatic settings, it's fine to me. But yeah, I mean, the phone doesn't cost as much as the Galaxies and the iPhones and stuff like that, so that's kind of a price you have to pay. You're not gonna get a perfect phone. But yeah, so far for the cameras, I think LG's been doing a really good job with the V series, so I expect them to definitely improve here. But I think the V60's cameras are fine right now, but like I said, improvement is always welcome. Alright, so I think that's pretty much it. Everything else we already expect. We expect this phone to have the Snapdragon 875. The base model on this phone is 8 gigs of RAM. We'll probably see 12 gigs of RAM on this phone. It wouldn't be crazy. It wouldn't be a shock to me if we see 12 gigs on the base model. Yeah, but everything else is pretty solid on here. The design, the specs, how the dual screen works with the software. Everything is pretty good on here, so I'm really excited for the V70. I think one of my biggest things I'm excited for is the display. Hopefully we see a punch hole high refresh rate with this phone. They keep the quad DAC, they keep improving the cameras. Hopefully this phone doesn't get any bigger. I would hate to see a 6.9 inch phone because it's just edging up to being like a little tablet. But yeah, what do you guys think? Be sure to let me know, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.